everyone, my name is Mary Grace B. Baino, a Bethel L3 student in CTU Bareilly campus. In today's video, I'm gonna show you guys on how to take accurate body measurements as well as on how to read and record the required measurements. Body measurements is one of the most important things in constructing the different kinds of dresses. It requires to produce a well-fitted garment. The dressmakers and tailors need to pay a lot of attention to every detail in taking body measurements of the customers. It is the reason why that it is very necessity for them to take an accurate body measurements. So before in taking body measurements, we should make sure that we have already prepared all the materials needed, such as tape measure, ruler, pencil, and a copy of individual measurements. In measuring body parts, it should be centimeter or inches. There are three ways classified in body measurements.
First way is through horizontal measurements. These measurements are horizontally taken from left to right of the body. The measurements are the following. Shoulder. This is taken from one shoulder joint passing across the shoulder blade to the other shoulder joint. Next is chest. This is taken across the chest between the shoulder and armpit. Next is apex distance. This is taken from the tip of the bust to the other tip of the bust. Next is across back. This is taken across the back between the shoulder and armpit. The second way is through circumferential measurements. These measurements are taken around the body. The measurements are the following. Bust line. This is taken around the fullest part of the breast, passing at the backbone. Insert your two fingers and slowly rotate the tape measure to check if the measurement were taken accurately. Next is waistline. This is taken around the fullest part of the waist, then rotate the tape measure. Measurement should not be too tight or too loose. Next is hip line. This is taken around the fullest part of the hips. Check that it is passes the biggest part of the buttocks. Slowly rotate the tape measure to give allowance for the movement of a person. Next is armhole. Take the circumference around the armhole to loose enough for arm movement. Next is arm girth. This is taken around the fullest part of the arm of the desired length of the sleeve. Give enough allowance for the easy movement of the arm. Next is bottom area. This is taken around the ankle of the desired circumference. The third and last way of body measurement is through vertical line. These measurements are taken vertically on the model's body. The example measurements are the following. Back figure. This is taken from the top base of the neck down to the waistline of the body. It is also called waist length and figure. Next is bust height. This is taken from the base of the neck down to the highest point of the bust. It is also known as apex height. Next is sleeve length. This is taken from shoulder joint to the desired length of the sleeve. Next is blouse length. This is taken from the base of the neck to the desired length of the blouse. Next is crotch. There are two ways to measure the crotch. First, it is measured by placing a ruler in between the two legs under the crotch, then measuring from the waistline down to the top level of the ruler. Second, while sitting, keep the end of the measuring tape firm against your waist and pull the tip down along the curve of your hip until you reach the chair. Lastly, the length of trouser. This is measured from the waist down to the desired length of pants. Efficient and accurate taking body measurements depend on how competent a tailor and dressmaker is. There are some pointers that you should observe while taking body measurements. Try to follow them while enjoying the pleasure they give. Points to remember in taking body measurements. Ask the client politely to stand straight while taking measurements. Use a soft, flexible type of tape measure so it will be flat on the part to be measured. Tie a string on the exact waistline as a point of reference while taking measurements. Start with either horizontal or vertical measurements. When measuring lengths, let the tape measure hang freely for a more accurate measurements. In measuring distances or widths, place the end of tape measure to the exact point of reference. In taking circumference, insert two fingers on the part of being measured to provide an allowance. Avoid taking measurements in halves, fourths, or eighths if possible. In measuring long sleeves, ask the client to bend halfway his elbow. And lastly, always have a ready personal measurement chart for every client so you can be measured that all measurements can be taken. Let us remember that a well-fitted garment lies mainly in how measurements will be taken into somebody's figure. Remember to incorporate easy methods or techniques so you can develop speed and accuracy. This is a skill that tailors or dressmakers should have.
Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something in this video. Once again, thank you and God bless. Bye!